It was a home filled with memories, ordinary routines, and years of family life. School mornings, family meals, birthdays, and everyday moments shaped the life they built together. But after the marriage ended, everything quietly began to change. The children stayed with their mother, while their father moved into a new home. Although the marriage had ended, one important legal responsibility had also changed. Council tax responsibility no longer rested with the person who had moved out. Under English law, liability follows the person who lives in the property. One decision would begin a chain of events that changed this family's future. This is the story of how a council tax debt of more than £3,000 eventually led to the sale of a family home. For 15 years, this house was the centre of the family's everyday life. Like many families, their days were filled with ordinary routines. The mortgage was paid, bills were managed, life felt stable. Birthdays, homework, and family traditions created lasting memories. But 2 years earlier, the marriage had come to an end. The father moved into a different home, while the children remained with their mother. Although the house was still jointly owned, one important legal responsibility had changed. It was a small but significant shift. Before the separation, her father had routinely handled the council tax. After moving out, he correctly informed the council that he no longer lived at the property. From that point onward, council tax liability followed the person living in the home. The law did not look at who owned the property, it looked at who lived there. The council contacted her and invited her to arrange payments in a way she could manage. Different payment options were available, but no arrangement was made. As the months passed, the unpaid balance continued to grow. Over the next 2 years, the council continued following the legal process. Letters, reminders, emails, and home visits all formed part of that process. The council confirmed that she continued living at the property. Every opportunity to communicate remained open. Support and flexible payment arrangements could still have been discussed. Instead, the debt continued to increase as time moved forward. Eventually, the outstanding council tax debt exceeded £3,000. The council then warned that it would apply a liability order through the magistrates' court. Even then, there was still no response. The legal process continued to move forward. The council applied for a liability order, asking the court to formally confirm the debt. The mother received notice of the hearing, but did not attend. The magistrates' court granted the liability order. That order allowed the council to begin stronger methods of enforcement. The first step was to recover the debt through deductions from her wages. For a time, those automatic deductions gradually reduced the amount she owed. Then, she resigned from her job, and the wage deductions stopped. With that route no longer available, the council escalated the case. The council applied for a charging order against the property. The mother was notified, but once again she did not attend. The charging order was granted, securing the outstanding debt against the property. At this stage, the council could wait for a voluntary sale or seek an order for sale. After 2 years of silence, the council chose to apply for the sale. For the first time in 2 years, the mother would have to face the court herself. She believed her ex-husband should have continued paying the council tax. But she had no legal basis, evidence of hardship, or payment arrangement to present. The council presented 2 years of letters, emails, visits, warnings, and offers of support. The judge considered the children, the circumstances, and whether the debt could be resolved another way. The court considered whether she had ever tried to arrange a payment plan. She had not contacted the council, had not arranged a plan, and continued to dispute her liability. After reviewing everything, the court granted the order for sale. She and her children were given 4 weeks to leave the home they had known for 15 years. The house was eventually sold, the mortgage cleared, and the debt and legal costs deducted from the remaining equity. The mother made a homelessness application, and the family were placed into temporary accommodation. A family uprooted, a home lost, a future disrupted. All because of a debt that could have been resolved with a phone call, a payment plan, or even a conversation. This story carries lessons every resident in England needs to understand. Lesson 1. Liability follows residence. If you live in a property, you are responsible for council tax. Lesson 2. Her ex-husband protected himself. By informing the council he moved out, he avoided joint liability. The lesson is simple. Council tax is a priority debt, and ignoring it can have serious consequences. Engagement is everything. If she had contacted the council, she could have set up a payment plan and kept her home. Support exists. Councils can reduce payments, spread arrears, pause enforcement, and offer debt advice, but only if you engage. This story is not about blame. It is about consequences. Silence can cost more than money. It can cost a home, a sense of stability, a future. If you are struggling with council tax, please reach out. Engage early. Ask for help. This mother did not lose her home because she could not pay. She lost it because she refused to engage. Silence can cost more than money.